So good evening. So today I am going to discuss about the positioning technique in cardiorespiratory patients. So in physiotherapy there are many applications are there, especially in cardiorespiratory physiotherapy there are many applications. So the applications of the selection of technique, it depends upon the type of the patient and the severity and condition of the patient. For example, if you want to increase the drainage, if you want to increase the secretion clearance, so the techniques used are postural drainage, autogenic drainage, active cycle of breathing, cuffing technique, and huffing technique, and so and so. There are many techniques. If you want to increase the if you want to reduce the work of breathing, then you will select you have the main aim is to raise the resting respiratory level, that is FRC. You have to increases, you have to increase, that is raising the resting respiratory level. It reduces the work of breathing. And if you want to increase the ventilation, then you will be teaching breathing. There are two main techniques which will increase the ventilation. One is breathing exercise, and second is positioning technique. Again, I'll repeat. If you want to increase the ventilation, or if you want to correct the ventilation perfusion mismatch, then there are two techniques are there. One is breathing exercise, and other is positioning technique. So if you ask me, among these two, which one is important, which one you will give importance, so I will give importance to the positioning technique. When compared to breathing exercise, positioning technique, it increases the ventilation, and at the same time it corrects the mismatch of ventilation and perfusion, or it corrects the ventilation perfusion ratio. So before understanding the positioning technique, so you should know the basic concepts of ventilation and perfusion. So first we will discuss in normal patient, in normal person, what is the we will study the ventilation and perfusion. So first we will discuss ventilation. For example, first we will discuss what is ventilation, and second we will discuss what is perfusion, and third we will discuss ventilation perfusion ratio. And this ventilation perfusion ratio is mismatched in the patient, that which we have to correct by using this positioning technique. So first, what is ventilation? So ventilation is an amount of air which goes in and out for the purpose of gaseous exchange. Again, I'll repeat. How will you define ventilation? First, I will explain ventilation here. So what is ventilation? It is amount of air coming into the lung for the purpose of gaseous exchange. So that is called as, we can call it as an alveolar ventilation also. So and what is perfusion? Perfusion is amount of blood which is entering into the lung for the purpose of gaseous exchange. That is called perfusion. So first we will discuss what is ventilation and what is normal ventilation. Then we will discuss what is perfusion and what is normal perfusion, and we will compare ventilation and perfusion. And then we will discuss about ventilation perfusion mismatch, and then we will discuss about the positioning technique. So positioning technique maybe I will discuss in next part of this lecture. So today we will discuss about the ventilation and perfusion. So ventilation, it is, so what do you think the ventilation will be higher in the upper zone? You know, the lungs are divided into three zones: upper zone, middle zone, and lower zone. So what do you think the ventilation will be higher in the upper zone or lower zone? The answer is lower zone. In lower zones, ventilation is high when compared to ventilation in the upper and middle zone. Or in other words, the ventilation is progressively increases. The ventilation progressively increases from upper lobe to lower lobe in upright standing position. Suppose if I am standing straight, my upper lobe, it receives less ventilation when compared to middle lobe and lower lobe, or in other words, the ventilation increases progressively from from upper zone to lower zone. Clear? In upright standing position, and again it changes from position to position. We are talking about upright standing position. So what is the reason why the ventilation is higher in the lower zone when compared to middle and upper? So you know that the lung is covered by the pleura. So this is called as the visceral pleura, which is lying closer to the lung, and this one is parietal pleura, which is lying away from the lung, and it is lining the inner surface of the costal ribs. Okay. So this is ribs. So this one is parietal pleura and this one is visceral pleura. So parietal pleura, it lies closer to the ribs. Clear? So why the ventilation, first I'll explain why the ventilation is higher in the lower zones. The reason is the pleural pressure, negative pleural pressure. We know that the pleura is having negative pressure. Clear? Which helps to keep the lung in the inflated position. So for example, you take a rubber sheet. For example, this is a piece of rubber with 3 holes in it, with three equal size holes in it. Clear? And this is a rubber sheet, or you can imagine this is a slice of lung, and these 3 small holes are nothing but the alveoli. These are the alveoli. Clear? So suppose if I am stretching the rubber sheet, clear? If I am stretching the rubber sheet, then what will happen to the size of the alveoli? So the alveoli size will become, if I am stretching the rubber on both the sides, the size of the alveoli is going to become large. Clear? Same way here, when you take the alveoli, so because of the gravity, clear, imagine this is the diaphragm. If you see the lung, the lung, it rests on the diaphragm, it sits on the diaphragm, and here at the lower, here this place, clear, this part of the pleura, the pleural pressure is less negative, and here in the apical lobe, the pleura which is surrounding the apical lobe, it is having more negative pressure. We are talking about intrapleural pressure. So for example, you can take the intrapleural pressure. Here it may be -10 centimeter of water. The intrapleural pressure, normally the intrapleural pressure is negative, but in upright position, here, that is near the apical lobe, the pleural pressure is -10 centimeter of water. And if you take in the middle zone, it is about 5 centimeter of water. It is less negative when compared to the apical lobe. And when you take the lower zone, it is about -2.5 centimeter of water. So what we understood from this, what is the reason of less negative? Because due to weight of the lung, gravity, it pulls the lung towards the diaphragm. Gravity, it pulls the lung towards the diaphragm, and the space between the parietal pleura and visceral pleura is less in the lower zone, because the parietal pleura, it is closely related to the diaphragm, and visceral pleura, it is closely related to the lung. Clear? But because of weight of the lung, both the parietal pleura and visceral pleura, it approaches to the closer. Clear? So that is the reason why the parietal pleura and visceral pleura, the space here is less. Clear? So here the intrapleural space is less. If that is volume, intrapleural volume is less. When volume is less, you know pressure is more. That is, pressure is more. Pressure more means it is towards positivity. So it is less negative here. What happens to here? Apical lobe, the parietal pleura it is closely attached to the ribs. Clear? Parietal pleura it is closely attached to the ribs, and because of the gravity, the lung it comes down. When the gravity is coming down, this visceral pleura also it comes down along with the lung. So here the space is great or more. Here the intrapleural space is more. Here it is less because diaphragm, the pleura is compressed between the diaphragm and the lung. So here it is expanded because the visceral pleura is closely attached to the lung and it goes down along with the lung, and parietal pleura it is sticking to the inner surface of the ribs. So here the space is increased or the volume is more. So that is the reason why here it is minus 10 centimeter of water, that is more negative. The pleural pressure is more negative here and it is less negative here. So this is the reason. If we take, now I will go to the previous example which I have told you. If you take the rubber sheet, with 3 holes here, and so less negative. What is meaning of less negative? Less negative means the lung is pulled, or it is the pressure which is given on the lung is less here. Clear? That is inflating pressure. It is less here. Here it is because more negative. So more negative pressure will open the alveoli. Or in other words, suppose imagine here the sheet is pulled more. Here the sheet is pulled more. Rubber sheet is pulled more. But here the rubber sheet is pulled less. So what will happen? The alveoli size or the hole here will become slightly larger here, because it is less pulled in the downward direction. Here it is pulled more. When the sheet is pulled more, then what will happen? The hole will become larger size. Clear? And here it is in between. Clear? I think you understood. Again I will explain. If you take this rubber sheet, if you pull the rubber sheet more here and less here, what will happen? This alveoli or this hole size will become large, and this hole size will become medium, and this size will become small. Okay, when comparatively it will become, so this alveoli is open large, or this hole is open large. Same way here. So what is this pressure? This pressure here on the rubber sheet and pressure here in the lung is applied by the pleural pressure. Clear? Negative pleural pressure which suck the lung in the outward direction. So here what happens? Here it is pulled less. So when it is pulled less, or the negative, because negative pressure is less, the alveoli will open slightly. Clear? So we are talking at FRC. I am talking at the resting FRC, functional residual capacity. We are discussing in functional residual capacity. And this, in the middle zone, the alveoli will open little large. But here, because more negative pressure, the lung is expanded more in the apical lobe. So what will happen? This alveoli will become large. The size of the alveoli is large here. So what does it mean? At FRC, what is FRC? It is a point where you start inspiration. FRC is a point, if you take this, clear, this is residual volume, and this level is called as an FRC. This is called FRC. This level is called FRC. FRC includes residual volume and expiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume. Together it is called FRC. This line is called FRC. Clear? So this is the point. This is the point where you start inspiration and you go for expiration. FRC is the point where you begin or where you start inspiration. So here at FRC, the alveoli which is present in the lower zone is stretched or it is open less when compared to alveoli in the upper zones. So now we will come to our topic ventilation. So what is ventilation? Ventilation is amount of gas or amount of air which enter into the lung for the purpose of gaseous exchange. So what do you think? When you take an inspired air, when you inspire, where the air will enter more? It will enter into all the three lobes, but this alveoli which is less expanded will expand more, or in other words, the compliance of the lung in the lower zone, is more. The compliance. So what is compliance? Compliance is it's an ease with which the lung can expand. Compliance is it is an ease with which the lung can expand. So for example I will take one rubber band. Clear? You take a rubber band and you stretch the rubber. Clear? You stretch the rubber. So now from stretched position, further stretching will be difficult. Again I will repeat. You take a rubber band and you take a piece of rubber. Clear? And it is easy to stretch. It is easy to stretch the rubber from neutral position. It is easy to stretch the lung from neutral position, and it is difficult to stretch the same rubber in stretched position. Suppose if you take one rubber band is stretched, same rubber band is stretched here. Already it is stretched, and now it will be difficult for you to stretch further. So what does it mean? The compliance of the rubber in neutral position is high. It is easy to expand the rubber from neutral position, and it is difficult to expand the same rubber in stretched position. So here the compliance is less and here the compliance is more. So now when you take here, so this alveoli is already stretched. This alveoli is already open or already it is stretched, and this alveoli is near neutral, or it is not in inflated position. Clear? Now this is the position of the alveoli, or this is the size of the alveoli in FRC. At FRC, the size of the alveoli is upper zone, it is large when compared to the lower lobe, because it is already inflated, because the negative pressure is more, and here it is less inflated because negative pressure is less. Clear? So now when you take inspiration, now from FRC, when you take inspiration, which alveoli will expand more? This alveoli, that is lower alveoli which are present in lower zone, will expand more because it is in nearly neutral position. But here this alveoli is already stretched. I have already told the stretched rubber it is difficult to further stretch. Same way here, already the alveoli is stretched and it is further difficult to stretch more. So even if it can be stretched, it can be stretched very little. So it will open little more when compared to the FRC position. But the alveoli which is in the lower zone, it will expand more, because I have told the the rubber band which is in neutral position, you can expand more. So this alveoli can be, so normally when you take inspiration from FRC, the alveoli which are present in the upper zones will expand less. The alveoli which is present in lower zone, it will expand more. So what do you think? More air will enter upper zones or lower zones? Answer is lower zone, because it is not the size of the alveoli which is responsible for ventilation. Clear? Size of the alveoli, if it is large, then residual volume will be large. Clear? Imagine these are the three alveoli. Clear? At the resting or FRC level. When you take inspiration, this alveoli will expand a little, this alveoli will expand little more, and this alveoli will expand very much or higher. So now what will happen when the air is entering, it will enter more into the lower zone when compared to middle and the upper zone. So this is the reason why normally the ventilation is high in the lower zones when compared to upper zones. So that is what I have told. In erect standing position, in an upright position, clear, the ventilation is greater in the lower lobes, or the ventilation is, it progressively increases from upper zone to lower zone. This is in standing position. Suppose if you are lying down, supine lying, if you lying in the supine position, now the basal posterior portion of the posterior segments, it becomes gravity dependent. If you are lying supine, then the posterior segment, it becomes gravity dependent, and the anterior segment becomes upper part. So now in supine lying position, the lower lobes or the posterior segments will receive more ventilation, and anterior segments will receive less ventilation, because gravity dependent lobe, the ventilation will be higher. So this is about the ventilation. So now I have explained you why the ventilation is higher in the upper zones. So now second, we will be discussing about the perfusion. So what is perfusion? Perfusion is amount of blood which is going into the lung for gaseous exchange. So here we are taking another lung. So this is the pulmonary artery which is going to lung for gaseous exchange. So here where the perfusion will be higher. Again here also the perfusion is greater in the lower lobes or the lower zones. Clear? There are three reasons are there. Clear? Again the perfusion is greater in the lower lobes or lower zones when compared to upper zones. In ventilation also the ventilation is higher in the lower and less in the upper zones. So what is the reason? First reason is it is a pulmonary artery is a pulmonary circulation is a less pressure system. That is, there are two systems are there: systemic pressure and systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation, it has a less pressure. You know what is the pressure? It is systemic pressure is 120 by 80. You all know 120 by 80 millimeter of mercury. This is systemic pressure. That is, I am talking about left side, left ventricular pressure. Right ventricular pressure, that is the blood which is going to lung. That circulation is called pulmonary circulation. The pressure on the right, in the right ventricle is 25 by 8 millimeter of mercury. This is right ventricular pressure. This is systolic pressure and this is diastolic pressure. When you take average, mean pressure is 13 millimeter of mercury. Clear? So this is the mean pressure of the right ventricle. That is what I want to say is the pressure is very less. The blood which is going to lung, it has a less pressure. That is 13, average is 13 millimeter of mercury. So what will happen when the blood is going to lung, when the blood is entering into the lung, it is obvious, one should go against gravity. The perfusion going to the upper lobes or upper zones should go against gravity. And the perfusion which is going to the lower zone, due to gravity, this will receive more blood. Due to gravity, the lower zone will receive more blood, and upper zone will receive less blood. So this is one reason why the perfusion is higher in the lower zone when compared to the upper zone. Second is, I have told, first is gravity. Because of gravity, the lower zone receives more perfusion. Second is pressure, low pressure, which already we discussed. That is, the pressure is very less. So because of this, it cannot go up against gravity. So that is the reason why upper zone is receiving less blood perfusion and lower zone is receiving more blood. And third one is resistance offered to the vessel. Again I repeat, resistance offered to the pulmonary artery in the upper zone is more when compared to the lower zone. I'll tell the reason why the resistance is more. In ventilation we have already discussed the alveoli in the upper zone is size is large at FRC. I'm talking before inspiration starts. Before inspiration starts, the alveoli size is large when compared to the lower. Here it is small. Clear? So now you know the pulmonary arteries, it lies next to alveoli. Pulmonary artery, it lies next to alveoli. So what will happen? Here the alveoli size is large. Clear? The alveoli is inflated at FRC, which will compress the arteries lying closer to the alveoli. Clear? Imagine this is an artery. This is the pulmonary artery. Clear? And the alveoli which is lying closer to the, so this is one alveoli, and second this is little larger alveoli I have drawn, and now I am drawing a very big alveoli. Clear? Clear? So now you can see the pulmonary artery which is lying closer to small alveoli, pulmonary artery which is lying next to small alveoli is free to flow. If blood is going in this direction, it will go freely. But the alveoli which is lying closer to this size alveoli, it is slightly compressed. The pulmonary artery is slightly compressed. So here there will be a slight resistance offered to the blood flow. But here, when you see, the alveoli is totally compressed. The pulmonary artery is totally compressed. So what happens? The resistance will be more in the upper zone, because the pulmonary artery lying next to the alveoli in the upper zone are slightly compressed because of the size of the alveoli itself. And alveoli, why alveoli size is large? Because the negative pleural pressure is higher. Because more negative pressure, it is more inflated. Clear? So because the alveoli is more inflated, So the pulmonary artery which is lying closer to the alveoli is slightly compressed. When the heart is pumping the blood, clear? When the heart is pumping the blood, so it will not move freely to the in the pulmonary artery which is lying closer to the larger alveoli. But here there is no resistance because alveoli size is small. So that is the reason. Third reason why the blood flow is higher in the lower zones when compared to the upper zones. So that there are totally three reasons why pulmonary perfusion is higher in the lower zone. First reason is I have already told it, gravity. Because of gravity, the blood flow is more here. Perfusion is more. Second is less pressure. Pulmonary circulation is low pressure system, that is 13 millimeter of mercury. So already the gravity is assisting and pressure is also less. So with less pressure it cannot go up to the upper zones. That is second reason. And third reason is the resistance offered by the artery itself, pulmonary artery itself. Because alveoli size is large, it is compressed more. So because when the heart is pumping the blood, what will happen? The blood will move more in the lower zone when compared to the upper zones. So these are the three reasons why the perfusion is higher in the lower zone. So what is the conclusion? The ventilation, when you talk about the ventilation is also high. Ventilation is high in the lower zone in upright position, upright standing position. Ventilation is more in the lower zone when compared to the middle and upper zone. And same way, perfusion is also more in the lower zone when compared to the middle and upper zone. So ventilation and perfusion are nearly matched in all the zones. Clear? And positioning technique. So what is why we are studying this ventilation perfusion? So because if you want to, because it helps a lot in positioning the patient. Suppose even I have already told this is the technique. Positioning technique is it increases the ventilation of the patient. Even though if you position the patient properly, so it will improve the condition or the ventilation perfusion mismatch can be reduced drastically. So that we will discuss in next class. Thank you.